Coca Cola spends billions of dollars on advertising every single year, yet it almost never tries to sell you the product itself. Instead, it sells an idea: happiness, harmony, togetherness. But many argue that this image is nothing more than a distraction from a far more disturbing truth. Over the years, Coca-Cola has faced serious accusations, ranging from health damage and environmental destruction to labor exploitation and political influence. So buckle up, because this is a journey through Coca-Cola's incredible history, spanning 3 different centuries, to uncover how it became one of the most recognizable brands on Earth, and at what cost. Because one thing is certain, you don't build a global empire selling sugar water by telling people the truth. Back in the late 1800s, trust in doctors was declining, and people increasingly turned to home remedies instead. Opportunistic entrepreneurs rushed in, creating unregulated patent medicines that claimed to cure nearly every illness imaginable. In reality, most of these potions were ineffective or outright dangerous, but with no regulations in place, sellers could promise anything. Business was booming. One of the most popular drinks at the time was Vin Mariani, a mixture of wine and cocaine that supposedly cured almost every ailment if consumed daily. One man who became particularly fond of this drink was John Stith Pemberton, a Civil War veteran who had been severely injured in battle. Doctors believed he would die and gave him morphine to ease the pain, but he survived, only to develop a serious morphine addiction. When he discovered Vin Mariani, he believed it was helping him overcome his addiction, largely because it contained wine and cocaine. Pemberton, a chemist himself, decided to create his own version. In 1884, he launched French wine coca, a drink similar to Vin Mariani but with additional ingredients. However, when alcohol prohibition began spreading across the United States, Pemberton was forced to remove the wine and replace it with carbonated water. This made the drink bitter, so he added a large amount of sugar to compensate. With the wine gone, the drink needed a new name. Pemberton's bookkeeper, Frank Robinson, suggested Coca Cola. The company later claimed the name was meaningless, but in reality, it referred to the drink's 2 main ingredients: coca leaves and cola nuts. Despite modern denials, Coca-Cola originally contained cocaine, something that is well documented historically. It wasn't until 1929 that the company found a way to remove the active cocaine from the coca leaves. Initially, Coca-Cola was marketed as a medicine, a brain tonic that relieved headaches and stomach issues. But sales were slow. Pemberton's health continued to decline, and in 1888 he died, never knowing his drink would become a global phenomenon. Shortly before his death, he sold the company for $300 to an ambitious businessman named Asa Candler. Candler soon gained full control of the company, although later investigations suggested some of the ownership transfers may have involved forged signatures. Many early company records were later destroyed, making the full truth unclear. By the 1890s, Asa Candler was firmly in charge, but Coca-Cola was still not widely popular. To change that, he flooded towns with Coca-Cola branding: billboards, banners, painted barns, and signs everywhere. One of his most effective tactics was sending free Coca-Cola coupons to pharmacy customers, betting that once people tried it, they would become lifelong customers. Soon, Candler realized that marketing Coke as medicine was limiting its appeal. Instead, he positioned it as a refreshing, enjoyable drink for everyone. This move distanced Coca-Cola from the patent medicine industry just as public scrutiny of those products increased. Coca-Cola's growth exploded. Candler reinvested heavily in advertising, paying celebrities and athletes to endorse the drink. Santa Claus became a recurring figure in Coke's Christmas ads, embedding the brand in childhood memories and holiday traditions. Coca-Cola pioneered many marketing techniques that later became standard, from celebrity endorsements to sexualized advertising. The company even created early data analysis departments to study consumer behavior and optimize ad placement. As new media emerged, from radio to television, Coca-Cola was always among the first to invest. Originally, Coca-Cola was sold mainly through soda fountains, which kept costs low since only the syrup needed to be distributed. But 2 lawyers, Benjamin and Joseph, proposed bottling the drink. Asa Candler thought it was a terrible idea, but agreed to give them bottling rights for just $1, assuming it would fail. Instead, bottled Coca Cola became a massive success. However, the poorly written contract locked Coca Cola into supplying syrup at a fixed low price indefinitely, leading to decades of lawsuits and costing the company millions to reclaim those rights. Despite these issues, Coca Cola continued to grow rapidly, driven almost entirely by marketing. Its biggest leap forward came during World War II. Coca Cola convinced the US government that its drink was essential to the war effort and secured an exemption from sugar rationing. The company promised that every American soldier would be able to buy a Coke for 5 cents anywhere in the world. Although this meant selling at a loss, the move was brilliant. Coca-Cola became associated with patriotism and morale, while government support helped fund the construction of bottling plants overseas. By the end of the war, Coca-Cola had established a global presence. However, while promoting patriotism in the United States, Coca-Cola continued operating in Nazi Germany. When syrup imports were cut off, a German Coca-Cola executive developed a substitute drink using food byproducts. That drink became Fanta. After the war, profits from Fanta flowed back to Coca-Cola headquarters, and the executive responsible was promoted. As Coca-Cola expanded globally, it implemented a cradle-to-grave marketing strategy, targeting consumers from early childhood. Schools signed exclusive contracts, vending machines sold only Coke products, and children were exposed to the brand through toys, movies, and holiday advertising. By the 1980s, Coca-Cola was one of the most recognized brands in the world, even among babies. At the same time, scientific evidence linking sugary drinks to obesity, diabetes, and other health problems continued to grow. Coca-Cola responded by funding research that downplayed these risks, lobbying against sugar taxes, and sponsoring major sporting events to associate the brand with health and fitness. The company also faced environmental and labor controversies worldwide, including groundwater contamination, water shortages, union suppression, and allegations of violence connected to bottling operations in Latin America. While Coca-Cola denied direct responsibility, critics argued the company benefited from these systems. Ironically, Coca-Cola's biggest public backlash had nothing to do with ethics. It came from changing the taste. After losing market share to Pepsi, Coca-Cola reformulated its drink based on blind taste tests showing consumers preferred the new version. In 1985, the company replaced the original formula with New Coke. The reaction was immediate and furious. People felt betrayed. Coca-Cola quickly reversed course, reintroducing the original as Coca-Cola Classic. Sales surged, and what seemed like a disaster became one of the most powerful branding moments in history. The lesson was clear. Coca-Cola's success was never about taste or ingredients. It was about perception. Even when people preferred other drinks in blind tests, they chose Coke because of what it represented. Coca-Cola doesn't sell sugar water. It sells memories, identity, and emotion. And that's why, despite endless controversy, billions of people still drink it every day. Coca-Cola has never sold the truth. It sells the feeling.